So this message, as I was reading it, certain things definitely stand out. But especially, I was thinking of our rabbi who left us just a few months before he spoke. And again, I will send out his message. But I thought, there were some people who were listening to it, and they have asked me to kind of make it. He would speak as a rabbi, going in circles, and they didn't always understand what he was saying. So that's why I decided to read it this week. But I'm going to send out the regular one, so you'll be able to hear what he had to say. And he, I remember when he and Rhonda would head out on vacation, and Mildred would go and stay at his house. And before they left all these instructions. Make sure you don't do this. Turn off the stove. We don't want you to burn the house down. Be careful. Don't invite your friends in. Don't, don't drink all our booze. Just a bunch of things that the instructions that they were given. But when you go from the very last chapters of Numbers, the next portion really should have led us right into Joshua, because after he left, Joshua was the one who took over. Joshua was the one who was with Moses every step of the way. He was in the tent when God spoke to Moses. He was there halfway up the mountain when Moses went up to receive the 10 Commandments. He was just always there. In many ways, I feel like a Joshua. Because believe me, when Rabbi was giving this message, and I think it was now in July, and then he was gone in the following September, July, August, that's just 2 months later. We never would have suspected that he was gone. But Joshua knew, because it said at the end of Numbers, Moses, I'm taking you up to the mountain. You'll be able to look out over the promised land, but you will not see it. And our rabbi didn't know whether this community was going to continue or not after he was gone, because he had tried to prepare a Joshua. He had looked for people. He wanted to find someone who would be able to take his place. But unfortunately, we can never choose our successors. Even with Moses, his 2 sons, you don't hear anything about them now or after he was gone. But we heard a lot about Joshua. So when you read how Joshua entered the land, and God kept saying to him, do not be afraid. Do not fear. I have given you this land. And he was told to do things which were very difficult. This morning before I came on, I was listening to a documentary about a man who, from England, and if anybody would like to hear it, I'll send it to them. But it was about a man who went in, he couldn't understand what's really going on in the Middle East right now. Why is there no peace in the land? And Joshua was told very clearly, when you go into the land, clear it out of the people who are living there. They are pagans. They're idol worshipers. They live with no mercy. They have no compassion. Wipe them out. Because if you keep them there with you, they will be like needles in your eye, pins in your eyes, and a thorn in your side. That's a very difficult thing to do. And I see that even today with the people living in the land, especially organizations like Peace Now, who don't believe that Israel has no right to the land, that the Arabs were there before us and we are occupiers. But actually it's quite the opposite. God took out they were not even known as Arabs in those days. They were different tribes of people who worshiped many other gods. The bottom line is that the only people who will be able to one day live in this land that God gave us. The land doesn't belong to us. It belongs to him. And the only people will be those who trust in the God who created it, in the God who created us, Jew or Gentile. Remember, Ruth was a Moabite. Her people were idol worshipers. But she said to Naomi, your God is my God. Your people are my people. And she stayed, and she became the great-great-grandmother of King David, who today would not even be considered a Jew because his mother, so his great-grandmother, was not Jewish. She didn't convert to another religion. Remember, our rabbi always said, conversion to another religion is taking a side step. You go from one religion to another. What he wants to teach us is a direct relationship with our Creator. And how do we have that relationship? Very simple. We trust him. We follow the commandments that were written by stone. We're going to read this next week. I've been reading the portion Yochanan, which I've been preparing the message. And it is so powerful. The words just speak for themselves. You don't have to go far. He says the word is near to your mouth. It's easy. It's right there. I've given them for you to do. Shema. Hear them, but hearing them is not enough. It's not enough to go to a religious service every week and get the message, listen to the message, take notes, and then do nothing about them during the week. If you don't live them, if we don't learn how to trust the God who gave them to us, they mean nothing. God judges us by our intentions, what we do, and walking with him is not easy. Taking over the land was not easy. He had given it to us. The Lord had already told Joshua, every place your foot walks, I have given you that land. And today we have a very small portion of it. And one day we will all be back in the land. When? I don't know. None of us know. But all we know is right now, where we are, wherever we're living, we have been given a community. This is our community. In this community, we teach how to live the 10 Commandments, the basic foundation for everything, for us to live it with others in our little other communities. Like Isabel, I don't know where you live, but in your community, you need to be a light to the people around you. And you can't say one thing and do another. If you give your word, you need to keep it. Like I remember my father used to say, do what I say, don't do what I do. You understand?
Yeah.
That's wrong. Because our children watch and they can smell hypocrisy. That's why, you see people who've brought their children up in a church or a synagogue, and they take them there every week, and they come to the services, but they do something opposite during the week. They steal from their customers. They lie. They cheat. If we don't keep the commandments, if we are not a witness to our children by living what we say, not by telling them and then not doing. And that's what Moses is so desperate to tell. Yochanan next week means I pleaded. How often do I want to plead with my children? But if you don't train them from when they're very young, they don't know what to listen to. And even if we do, the world around their pull is so strong. The friends, whatever's going on in the environment is so strong that it's so easy for them to be turned aside. But if we continue to live as a living testimony to them at how God has changed our lives, that we can live fulfilled lives that not necessarily are always happy, but we can choose to be happy within the circumstance, whatever it is, knowing that we have hope. knowing that we have a God who will never leave us or forsake us. He will always protect us in all things. So it's a very powerful message.
Okay, thank you.
Now, the ones who usually do all the talking are not here today, except for Miriam.
I don't know. What else is there to say?
There really is.
It's in a nutshell. God has communicated the moral code for us in a living way, and he's a living God. It's not we just do this and we do that.
Exactly.
And as hard as it is, and it is hard to, but yeah, it is a simple but rich and profound message. I
Yeah.
find like one of your friends who was, trying to say this and God is that, and look at this verse, and look at, I mean, we do need to look and explore, but sometimes it's overkill when we're trying to prove that our vision of how God works is one way, and the bottom line is God wants a relationship with us,
Exactly.
and for us to lead moral lives, the moral standards which He has taught us and given to us. It's not a strict, dark thing, do this. It's not a joyless thing. God has given us the real joy, like to be alive with a living presence. Our Creator is the ultimate joy in the universe.
Exactly.
It's not, wear black and be strict, and it's the river of life.
Do you have any questions, Isabel, about the message that you heard today? Any thoughts?
The
Do you have, tell me, what brought you here to this community?
This community,
Yes.
here in Villa Sales, I don't know the communities, the Messianic, I don't know this as near, I don't know.
No, they don't have that
I
there.
don't have there, no.
Oh, you live in La Salle. We have
In La
another
Salle.
lady. We have another lady who lives in La Salle. I should introduce you. You can go and visit her.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
You give the telephone, you call.
Yeah.
He's right here.
For that. Yes.
She's
Yes.
there. You can't see her because she doesn't have a computer. She only has a telephone.
Yes.
She's 95 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's a little bit older than you.
Yes, okay. No problem.
Yeah,
For me,
that's
it's
okay.
That's okay. No
Are you working? Do you work?
Yes, I working at the school.
Oh, good.
But now is a vacation for 2 months.
Oh,
and the
good.
School. Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, well,
And
I'm
school in French, not in English. But
Yeah.
my English is not very good, but I understand.
That's okay. That's
Yeah.
okay. Your English is better than my Spanish.
Yes. Okay. So I think so. Yes. I think.
Yeah,
No
that's very
problem.
good. So do you teach in the school?
No teacher is the for service de garde.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yes.
very good.
Yes. Yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. And Brian, you were going to say something?
She helped the teachers. Like for students that didn't do good through the year, they have to take a summer course.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think, Rhonda, you're leaving next week. You're going away for a week?
I leave on the 31st and won't be back until mid-September.
Oh, it's a continuous. I thought you were going for a week and then coming back and then.
Yeah, I go for a week, but I'll be here on the 7th, the week of the 7th,
Okay.
Monday to Friday, and then leave on Saturday.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to have you read again on the 4th. Is that okay? Oh, no, on the 5th.
I'm not here.
Oh, you're not here. I
No.
thought you just said you leave on the 7th.
Don't do a long distance reading.
No. I will be here on the 7th, through the 11th.
Oh,
Bobby.
okay. Okay, so there's no reading for you in the month of, so you'll be gone the whole month. Wow,
Yeah,
that's fantastic. Well, we wish you then a safe trip. Are you here? Is there one more Shabbat you're here? Or
yeah,
this
I'll
is
be
it?
here next week.
Next week. Okay, perfect. Okay, good. What, Brian?
Where are you going to visit?
We're going to Hershey, Pennsylvania, and come back by way of Plattsburgh. And then on the 12th, I fly down with David and Shashi to Baton Rouge, and I'll stay there until January 9th. I mean, September 9th.
Place, the Hershey chocolate place.
Yeah,
Ask him what's with the goodies.
do what?
Ask them why aren't they selling the goodies? When they took over the Y and Yes Licorice, they also took over the goodies. Now they don't see no goodies.
No more goodies? It's
What's
called goodies? What is goodies?
It's a little candy licorice that they used to make, and I don't see now. It's not don't seem to be out there.
Okay, I guess they stuck to Hershey's. Yeah. All right. Well, if we don't have anything more to discuss about the message, then we'll say Shabbat Shalom to everybody.
Yeah.
Have a
Shabbat
wonderful
Shalom.
day.
You too.
Rabbi's message too.
Yeah, well, I'll send you the rabbi's message too. And I'm going to send you the message in Spanish, Isabel.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, and Sari also has it. So if you notice any Spanish mistakes, Mauricio usually sends it back to me, but he hasn't. So just please forgive me because my Spanish translator is named Google.
Yes. Okay. No. It's okay. No problem.
Okay,
Yes,
Daddy,
thank you.
Shabbat Shalom,
Shabbat
Daddy,
Shalom,
Shabbat Shalom,
everybody.
Alvarado.
Shalom.
Everybody, bye.
Everybody,
Iti.
bye-bye.
Adios.
Shabbat Shalom.
Adios,
Adios.
amigos. Shabbat Shalom. Bye.
Shabbat Shalom.